This is my audience. I have 4 adults.
If you ever had to ride on a plane before, you probably had to go through TSA first. As we all know, this can be a very unpleasant experience. All the rules and restrictions and what seems like unnecessary things you have to go through just to board your plane. There's invasive pat-downs, invasive body scanners, really unusual rules about what you can and can't take on the plane, and the unnecessary sternness brought about by the employees. But we have to have those things because we have to have safety at airports, well, with all the attacks that have happened. But that's actually wrong. When asked, the TSA actually could not produce any evidence that they've actually ever stopped an attack before. So what's the point of going through all these unnecessary rules and restrictions and guidelines by TSA employees? Well, that is called security theater. Security theater, just like regular theatrics, is giving the impression of security. It's all just a show. It's all designed to make us feel safer, when in reality, we're actually not any safer at all. My own personal experience of having to go through this security theater was my family and I were taking a vacation to Destin, Florida, and for some reason I kept setting off the scanners. I don't know why. All I had were my clothes on, I had nothing in my pockets, and this was before I had metal in my body. But security employees, they would not believe me, and they were telling me that they were going to have to take me into the back room. That's bad news. You don't want to go into the back room there. And I was telling them, no, you're not going to take me into the back room. I will leave this airport before you put me into that back room and do anything like, say, a cavity search, which is ridiculous that would even have to be an option for them. So thankfully, they settled on just a very invasive pat down of my body and a swab of my hands to look for illegal substances like drugs and gunpowder residue. And you get to thinking, how much better would our travel be if we didn't have to go through all this unnecessary games? Well, other countries don't have all these unnecessary games. In countries like France, invasive pat-downs are actually banned. There, the security guards are actually not allowed to touch you at all. Sure, you still have to place your shoes in the bin and your laptops and your belts, take everything out of your pockets, but at least the security theater there doesn't involve any malicious intent. And people there in countries like France are actually happier to travel, and they're less anxious because they don't have to go through unnecessary things like they do here in the US. Now, wouldn't it be nice if the United States was like that? Well, it can be. See, these people would be a good example of how traveling in other countries like France would be. And we can, like I said, we can actually change that for the better in the US, not just for ourselves, but for our future generations, because we don't want our kids being patted down just when we're trying to go on a family vacation. And how we can do that is by petitioning our representatives. Petitions are actually not very complicated at all. You can go to websites like this right here, this change.org, and start a free petition. And all you got to do is find like-minded individuals, just like all of us, who share similar stories and similar anger towards unnecessary TSA guidelines. And what we do is we collect signatures on our petition. After that, we then send the petition to our representatives. And contacting our representatives is just like starting a petition. It's very easy. There's websites like this right here, oklegislator.gov. That gives you all the contact information for all of your representatives. And then we can send a petition off to them. And our representatives, they represent us. That's why they're called our representatives. We need to push our representatives for a reform of TSA security guidelines. In doing so, we can have a lot better traveling experiences. Today, I explained the crisis that we have at almost every airport terminal across the country and how we can do it. With all that being said, can I get your signatures? Thank you.